Do the opposite. That is the name of this video. Hi, my name is Autumn Rose, and today I want to talk about how you can turn negatives into a positive.
Positive to the negative to the positive. There.
And how I feel like there are a lot of phrases that are instilled in us from the moment we're born all the way into adulthood that I feel have a very negative tone to them. And since I was a kid, I kind of fought against it and still continue to do that to this day.
Smell it, now take it. That's for you.
I tend to flip things backwards or look at things inside out, or try to just look at it from a different perspective than taking it for what it is as soon as it's said to me.
I say, whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
Small example, when I first started working when I was 16 years old, a phrase that really bothered me was that employees are replaceable.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
The moment that was said to me, I automatically flipped that phrase inside out and was like, well, if employees are replaceable, jobs are replaceable. That means that I can get a job anywhere if employees are replaceable. That phrase made no sense to me because I automatically looked at it the opposite way. Rather than it being put on me, I flipped it and reversed it, put it back on them. Because I'm not going to work anywhere that isn't going to allow me to be the best version of myself or isn't fulfilling me. So as much as I'm replaceable is as much as they are replaceable.
I am the one, the way your son don't need.
Another phrase that bothered me when I started taking on more responsibilities was, there's only so much you can get done in a day. I automatically was like, well, how much? How much can I get done in a day? Why am I already being limited? I don't like that. The limit doesn't exist.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
The limit is what I decide. The limit is what I want it to be. And I can also give myself breaks as need be. I don't need to just sit down and tell myself, well, that's it for today. I can challenge myself as much as I want. And phrases like that have always really bothered me. And I don't know why, but I've always fought against it and done the opposite. A third example, and I have one more after this, and then I have a challenge that I want you guys to give to me, and also a challenge for yourselves. And maybe we can have an open discussion at the end of this in the comment section, because I really want to hear more thoughts on this from you guys. Because I want to make sure that it's known that I don't believe that my words are the end-all be-all. There's always room for criticism, there's always room for optimism, and there's always room to find a middle ground. But I want to start off with just the third example before I get towards the end of the video. Third example, it never ends. That was something that I heard a lot growing up, and when I initially heard this, that was something that I automatically flipped inside out and thought, well, what does it mean when it does? I have to enjoy the never endings while I can, because doesn't mean that I'm dead. Like, does it mean that I have now lived my life? I have accomplished everything that I've needed to accomplish. It felt like it was holding me back, and I didn't like that. I don't like phrases that make me feel like holds me down and doesn't lift me up. And I remember my neighbor, him and I are always outside at the same time. He does a lot of lawn care, and so do I. I absolutely love being outside doing yard work. It's my favorite thing to do in the summer. And after a few years now living in our house, that was something that he would bring up to me every now and then. He would just be like, oh, it never ends. It never ends. And I would just be like, yeah, you just got to enjoy it while we can, enjoy the warm weather. And finally, I just said to him, have you ever thought like what it means when it does? And he was like, scratching his head. He was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, what does it mean when it does? You got to enjoy the never endings while you can, because that's all we have. And he was just like, like, yeah, you're right. And since then, he has never said that phrase to me again, and instead is just like, got to enjoy the little things while we can. And I'm like, yeah, we do. Like, I'll see you out here tomorrow too. I almost said his name, but he's an awesome neighbor. Absolutely adore him. And now for the fourth thing, which is anxiety. Anxiety is something that I've struggled with my whole life, and every time that I've dealt with anxiety and have tried to confide into people about anxiety, the negative tonnage that's around anxiety has always felt, let's say, debilitating, has always felt crippling, has felt like it has a very just negative tonnage to it, and I don't like that. So I flipped it inside out. What is anxiety and how can I deal with it? And flip it on its backside and make it my bitch, basically. Because anxiety doesn't own me. Anxiety is a warning. It is wanting me to look inward, not outward. I need to stop looking at things around me and start looking at things in me. I want to make sure I clarify that I'm not an expert by any means. This is just based off of my own life experiences. If you need to know, I am a mom of 2. I have 7 siblings that are all older than me and live their own lives and have different paths of their own and have faced different challenges and have overcome a lot of things. And I have bared witness to a lot of this, whether I wanted to or not. So I feel like I have enough life experience to speak on this topic, but if you don't agree, that's okay. If you don't agree with the things that I'm saying, that's fine. That's where the room for scrutiny is, or the room for just the opposite. For the fourth example, I want to talk about anxiety. Anxiety, since I can remember, has always been something that's very crippling, debilitating, has made me feel like I can't do what needs to be done, and it kind of makes you freeze a little bit. And I don't like that. And anytime I would try to confide in people who also struggle with this, it felt the same for them. And there was no way to kind of maneuver the conversation without it remaining negative. So I tried to flip anxiety into a superpower. I tried to make it more of something that I can rely on to make me look inward. So when I start experiencing anxiety, I try to use it in a way to humble myself. Where is it that I need to take accountability in my life? Where is it that I need to look inward and work on and go from there? If I'm in a public setting and I'm experiencing anxiety, what is it that's bothering me? What is it that I need to work on and move forward with that? Anxiety is a cue for growth. It is not something that's supposed to stunt me. Anxiety is my friend willing to have a hard conversation with me, but I also need to be willing to have that hard conversation as well. Anxiety is forcing me to do the opposite of what I don't want to do. For me, it's a cue to look inward and work forward. Now, these 4 examples are just things that I do to keep myself in a positive mindset and not to allow the negative to hold me back, but instead make it in a way to push me forward. And the challenge that I have for you guys today is to give me a phrase that you think can't be flipped into a positive. Believe me, I'm sure there are some that can't, but I doubt it. So I challenge you guys to challenge me and to challenge yourselves to do the opposite and try to think positively in 2026. Just a little sign off to the end of this video. I'm extremely grateful and looking forward to posting with you guys in 2026 on YouTube. I have always wanted to do this. I am going to continue doing this. I have so many videos lined up for this year like this, where we can have open conversations, open discussions, because I don't believe that my words are the end all be all. I believe there is an art to conversation, and it allows you to open up your mind to other perspectives and mindsets and insights. And the only way that's going to happen is if you're willing to have those types of conversations. And I am. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And I hope you're looking forward to the things that I have to share. So, I'm so excited. Hand hug. If you don't know what a hand hug is, this is it. 1 second. And that is how I will end off all of my videos. Hand hug.